So as a new shooter, sometimes we may go with a simpler platform like iron sights, may jump in right away with a red dot. So one of the biggest issues of a new shooter grabbing a red dot right away is that when they present, it's a very hard time for them to find that red dot to sit in the middle of that window. They start seeking and searching all over the place because there's not much index points where I can see a tube. This is a wide open free set, which allows me to be able to see a lot more, which is its huge advantage. However, it's a big negative because as I present and you don't know how to find that red dot, it's going to be an issue. It's going to take you longer essentially, so it's going to work against you.
Brought to you by Shooters Global. We created the advanced training system and next-gen shot timers to help you progress faster.
One of the biggest things that you would do for me, like let's say, take a step back, you started off with a gun, same gun, iron sights, and all of a sudden you want to put an upgrade to a red dot on there. By shooting that iron sight, nothing changes. All you have to do is rely on your ability that you've already developed, that structure, the tension that you have on your hands. You repeat that, and most likely that red dot will end up in the middle of that window. That's the biggest thing about red dot shooting, is that to trust what you've already built in behind, not coming up here and then start looking for it right away. Because when you do this, you have no structure, you have no shooting structure. You want to establish your structure first and then rely on that, and then eventually make those small adjustments at the end. But when you come up here and immediately start looking for it, it's a very hard thing for you to be consistent behind. So that's number one. If you have already an iron sight, the same platform, you put a red dot, you've already given yourself the opportunity to be able to see that red dot because you've built the structure before. But if you don't have that ability, your job is present here and you don't have a structure, this is your first gun, you want to present that gun till you find the red dot in the middle. All you want to do is lock that position and drop everything down here without moving. Follow that red dot all the way down. And then your job is to follow that red dot all the way up without losing the red dot at all on your window. Your job is to now, again, the same exact thing, building that structure as I move up versus as I move down. And then eventually, once you're done following it all the way up and down, I want to maintain that same exact level, but now instead of following it with my eyes, I want to maintain my eyesight on target and just bring the gun up and see where the red dot is. And I'll do that again. And then I'll do that again. And the more I see it constantly, because I've built my structure already, now I want to start moving from here to here and see if my red dot is on the window still. And the biggest thing is learning how to create that same exact structure that you had when you were doing this to finding it from here to here. The biggest thing is people change when they come in from here or when they come from the holster. The biggest thing for them is that they change the way they draw the gun and the way they present that structure of how it sets on target, the way it was when they had the gun from here to here. So the biggest thing about it is learning how to track the sights first with your eyes going down, creating that structure. And then eventually, once you have that structure down, then leave your eyes on target with the gun separate and then bring the gun up, and that creates the structure. That will allow you, for a new shooter, essentially to be able to build that structure fairly quickly behind a red dot. That's one of the tricks that I would say, is always to build your structure first before even looking for the red dot. Because if you don't build your structure, you have nothing to even go by to even look for that red dot at all. It's just now a guess and where you want it or not. So now all the advantages of shooting a red dot just went out the window because you couldn't find your red dot.